Welcome back to the All Things Everything podcast presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And this is episode 14 after a few weeks off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where were we at? Did we just decide to neglect the channel, neglect the podcast?
So last week we took off for Thanksgiving, which
Yep.
we did say it was possible we were going to take it off for Thanksgiving.
For sure.
Now this past Tuesday, normally we would have a video. We were expecting our competition video of Killeen.
Yep.
But what actually happened is we had some technical issues. We lost the
our
majority of our footage. We had some from like the beginning, and some from like, our overhead shot, but that doesn't really help, right? So we lost the majority of our footage and we just couldn't make a video out of it, unfortunately. So apologies to all the people who are looking forward to that video. Yeah.
And I feel so bad about it because we did get a lot of good footage.
Right.
And, there was some different people that got walks and there was some different people. So the guy that GC, that was his first ever GC, and we had it and we would have loved to put it out there, but we unfortunately don't have it to, the footage is gone and we had some technical difficulties, some malfunctions with our equipment. And man, those are always tough. So this has happened to us before, and maybe not this exact situation, but we've had situations before where we had to completely scrap videos because something happened. And I'll tell you what, it really does suck, especially because Killeen, we drove 4 hours to Killeen. We competed. We woke up early. We filmed the whole thing. And
yeah, and whether we do well or not in a competition
doesn't matter to us.
We love to showcase, what we actually did and what were the results that came out of it,
Yeah.
And the other winners throughout the competition, we love to highlight them, showcase them.
Yeah, it's not just about us. It's not. We've talked about it before. We're here for barbecue community as a whole.
Right. Yeah, so we're pretty disappointed about that. But there's really nothing we can do.
Yeah. Now, I don't remember. Did we talk about our clean results on the podcast yet?
I believe we did.
But if we did
not,
as well.
We can talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so clean, unfortunately, was, and that's, I think, honestly, that is really why I wanted to put it out there, because it was actually one of our worst events.
Mm-hmm.
I felt confident about all the food. We ended up getting, what? Oh, man. I don't even remember.
It feels like it's been so long.
Well, it has been long. It's been, it'll be a month at the end of this week.
Right.
So, no, we did talk about it. So, we did talk about this. I'm sorry. So, we don't need to talk about it again because we did already talk about this on our last episode. So, we won't talk about Killeen, but the other reason why we didn't do a podcast, so 2 weeks back, we didn't do it because of Thanksgiving, and we let you guys know that we might not. And last week, unfortunately, the timing just didn't really work out for us. I was headed to Las Vegas with my friends for a bachelor party on Tuesday morning, and we were just bowed up doing things in order for me to get ready for that, and it just didn't work out.
Oh, man, I completely forgot that was 2 in a row.
Yeah, we missed 2 in a row.
Yeah. No wonder it feels so long.
Yeah, we missed 2 in a row, and like I said, ended up going to Las Vegas with the homies. We had a great time. It was a super fast trip. We've all talked about it since then. I even talked about it with you and my mom like 45 minutes ago. It wasn't long enough. If you're going to spend the money to fly out, like, we should have just stayed, honestly, probably 2 more days.
Right.
Because we got there Tuesday, stayed all day Wednesday, came back Thursday. So we spent basically 30-something hours in Vegas. And it's just not long enough, for us to do what we wanted to do. We gambled, lost money, had fun, But it's always great coming back because you do want to get back home. You want to be with your family. But I'm talking about, like, money-wise. For us to spend to go to Vegas and do all that stuff, like, we should have just stayed a couple days extra. But it's okay. Shout out to Sid. It was his bachelor party. We had a lot of fun. Like I said, we all gambled. We ate good food. We went to the Golden Steer out there, which is apparently like some super famous, I guess, like old mob meetup or something. I don't know 100% if anybody knows. Drop it in the comments down below. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We paid $1,800, and I do not think the steak was worth it. I didn't think it was good. I just didn't. Now, we ate escargot, we ate shrimp, we ate Caesar salad where they actually made the dressing and everything right there at the table. And everything else was pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and lie. The steak was, to me, very disappointing. And that's where it's like, I can't justify $1,800.
Right.
It's just, you know what I mean? It just is. But again, that's not really what it's about. It was about us all being together. And I'll tell you what, for me, you know me, I have a lot of good friends, like friends that I might not see them all the time, but when I get together, man, there's just like so much love. Like Bud, for example, I don't see Bud, and then he'll come into town and like I'll spend days with him and we just have like a blast. And it's like, we never missed a beat. Same thing with Cody. Cody was at the bachelor party with us. It's just like we link up and we're all so good. And the thing I loved about it was that we could all text each other. And within minutes, like we were at the hotel lobby together, meeting up, going to dinner, going to go gamble, going to do something. So it's like bittersweet. Like I told all the guys, I was like, man, I love my life now with my wife and with my kids. I love my kids more than anything. I love my wife. But like being able to just say like, hey guys, let's meet up. It was a surreal feeling because it's like, that's just not something we could do anymore.
Right.
So it felt really good. And like I said, just to, beat a dead horse, we absolutely had a blast. Wish we stayed longer. But that's why we didn't get the second podcast out, because I was headed to Vegas and we just had too much to do.
Right.
So, yeah. And now it's like I come back from Vegas. We had the kids, the girls, ballet recital and hip-hop recital. So we were busy Saturday. Sunday, you basically are getting ready for work Monday. And it's just been like everything. So, like Sabrina said, we weren't able to get a video out on Tuesday a couple days back. That's because of the malfunction. We tried to get something planned where we could get another one done, but we unfortunately found out a little bit too late about Colleen, and it was just making us rush. Mm-hmm. And we told ourselves, we're not going to put out content unless we feel really good about it. And we didn't feel good about the ideas that we had because we were just trying to rush for something. So we don't really like to do that. That's why we wanted to sit down and hopefully have a really good podcast today.
Right. But we do have some really good ideas coming up
for sure.
For the month of December, which is, it's crazy. It feels like there's not much of it left.
I mean, it's the 6th already.
Yeah, that's how I think it's so crazy when everyone gets upset about like starting to put up lights and decorate in November, because December gets here and it's like Christmas is like a week away, it feels.
Yeah.
It's
wild. We did get all the lights up and stuff at the house.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the trailer painted.
Oh,
which
yes.
It looks really, really good. It looks amazing. I'm super happy with the way that our trailer looks right now. And hopefully we get to some decals on it before we go out of town. Speaking of which, we are going out of town this weekend. So the CBA season did end last weekend. Now, we're not going to talk about the results so much right now because next week we will have a guest on that had some really, really good results in the CBA 2023 season. So we'll talk a little bit more about it then, but the new season is here. And so it just started last weekend. This is the second weekend, and we're headed to Angleton, which I feel it feels like bittersweet, right? Because a lot of people are going to Uvalde to cook at the Briscoe, and we're headed to Angleton. We talked about why, but man, the Briscoe is looking to be like almost 200 teams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's two really good events, I think, going on at the same time.
And it sucks that they're on the same weekend.
Right.
Because if they were back-to-back weekends, we would have gone to both.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, when we made the decision to go to Angleton, Briscoe had like 60-some teams, and Angleton had 100. And now Angleton's capped at 100, and Briscoe's at like 200.
Oh, wow.
So...
Well, still, I still enjoy, I mean, even at 100.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
So, either way, we're going to have fun. We're going out to compete again, which it has been a month since we last competed, which is crazy for me to think about. It's like, dude, it's been that long, but it really has.
Yeah, and it like throws us off.
It does. And it's like, I don't want to say are we ready, but are we going to be 100% crisp and sound on everything that we're doing at the competition? Because when you compete a lot, you get into a role.
Right.
Like everything just feels really, really easy, and it feels like it's just flowing really well. So I am curious how we're going to do this weekend. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you.
Yeah, even just trying to prep, it's like,
oh yeah,
you're not remembering
yep.
all the things, even though it's just been a month ago.
Yeah.
You have to actually go. That's where lists come in handy because
we've talked about those a lot.
Yeah, you have to go look back at that list and say, okay, like what all do I need? Because normally it's like, oh, boom, boom, boom. All this stuff is already still right here in the same container.
Yeah.
Everything's still in the trailer. I mean, but it's been a month for us, right? So not all the same stuff is sitting in that trailer, is sitting in that bin. We got to gather it all together. So, that's why I think a lot of these people who, go on Points Chase or they compete every single weekend, that's one of the reasons why they're so good is because they're doing it back to back. It just becomes like muscle memory for them.
For sure. And I will say, like, towards the end of the season when we had our 2 wins, we were definitely cooking 5 weeks before that and 4 weeks after that.
Right.
So, like, our win was right in the middle of a really long, like, almost 8-10 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Everything just felt like, oh, I'm going to put my ribs on this time. I'm going to spin them at this time. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, that's the color I want. Boom, wrap them. They'll be done in an hour.
Yeah.
Everything felt really easy to do. Now, we've talked about this, and it's just barbecue, right? So I don't think it's going to be hard to do. Right. I just think there's going to be little things here and there that we're not as crisp on. Right. Do I think that's going to stop us from possibly winning? I don't. I think we know what we're doing.
Yeah, I also don't think that's going to be the reason if we don't.
Yes, no.
Can't blame it on
there's no.
as that.
So we also don't want to put anything out there like excuses. No. Well, I promise you we're going out there to win. Like we want to win. Zero doubt about it. We're not going out there like, oh, we haven't competed in a month, so it's okay if we lose. No, that's just not who we are.
Yeah.
We want to go out there and win, right? I want to win this 100-team event bad.
Yeah.
So everything that we're doing, we're prepping and trying to make sure we're right on track. And I think we're doing just fine.
Yeah, and we're competing in the little side competition.
Yeah, and the reason we're doing that is because the ancillaries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ancillaries, whatever.
Yeah.
The jackpots.
Right.
So the reason we're doing that, though, is not necessarily because, yes, we want to win them, 100%. But the real reason that we're doing it is because all the entries for those are just extra toys. Mm-hmm. So we're just giving ourselves extra opportunities to get extra toys for these kids.
Right.
So we're just going to turn every jackpot in, and whatever happens with those happens. We donate the extra toys. What we're really, really focused on, obviously, is the 4 main meats. Don't get me wrong. If we win mac and cheese and breakfast and steak and all 3 and GC, shoot, I'm happy.
I'm excited about these because this is the first. Well, no, we've done a chef's choice a very long, long time ago, in the beginning of us competing. But we typically don't do those because it's me and you only, like that, we're doing everything, right? And a lot of the times if I'm filming too, it's not like I can stop this to go do that.
It's definitely going to be hard because we're going to be doing jackpots and we're going to be trying to film and everything. So it is going to be a little bit harder, I think, for us to get all the footage, but
I'm excited.
We'll do our best. We'll do our best to get the footage. And again, we're going to do our best at the competition.
And I think these are creative categories too.
Anything mac and cheese, Santa's breakfast, and then steak. Yeah. So on the steak, you can put garnish in there. Like some people make like flowers and stuff with the peppers and all that. Have you ever seen that?
Uh-huh.
You can do that. You can't do like steak and shrimp. It has to be steak only.
Yeah.
So, anyway, moving on. We will be in Angleton this weekend. We're excited. We cannot wait to be out there again and see some of our friends. And then we'll kind of just see how the year is going to shake up. So, our plan right now, and this is the thing with Sabrina and I, we have plans, and then sometimes they just we're so everywhere that the plan doesn't always stick. But we're really going to do our best to stick to this plan. We don't think we want to do more than 2 events a month, and we want to just really, really keep an eye on the ones that we want to go to and kind of build out a schedule for the year. Because we did notice that our content, we weren't doing as many shorts, we weren't doing as many regular backyard recipe YouTube videos because we were competing so much. And we do not want to forget why we started this. It was never for us to compete and be the best competitor in the world. With the events that we do, we want to win every single one of them, and we still want to be number one overall. Don't get it twisted. But we're just not going to be out there every weekend like we were kind of in the end of the season. It's just not feasible. Yeah. It's just not something that we can do along with all of the other goals that we have for 2024. You know, we've had some pretty intimate conversations about how we want to level up, things that we can do better. And it's crazy because we've talked about this before. I feel like we do a lot. I really do. But you and I both agreed that we could do more. Mm-hmm. We just have to manage our time a little bit better. I hate to say it. You know, the focus either needs to be the kids, mom and dad, my family, your family, or Gulf Coast Smoke. I mean, we can't forget about, obviously we have kids and we want to take them and do fun stuff with them. And if they want to go bowling, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't got to say, no, we got to film. It's not what we're trying to say, but there are definitely times when we're home and we could be doing something for it, and we choose not to, right? It's just, we're humans. Like I've even told you before, the worst thing is when I go on vacation, and I'll admit it, it's my fault. Like I'll tell the kids, like, no, I ain't got to work tomorrow. Like, let's stay up. Let's stay up till 4 o'clock. How many movies did we watch, like, while I was on vacation? We were just watching movies, and I love it. Yeah. I just love watching movies and, you know, hanging out in the living room, and then the sleep schedule gets jacked up, but we have to be a little bit more disciplined than that. I have to be, not we. I have to be. The kids are going to follow suit. If I tell them to go to bed, they're going to go to bed. If I tell them let's stay up till 4 a.m., they're going to try to stay up till 4 a.m. with me. So we just have to be more disciplined, and I'm excited about 2024. I know we still have 2023. We don't want to forget about upcoming holidays and all that stuff, but I'm really excited for us to focus in, and I really think that we can take a huge leap in our business this year because we know what we need to do, and we will do it.
Yeah, and I think that one of the issues is, you know, competing, it is good for our business. There's a huge aspect of it that is just really positive for our business, but it's turned into us doing it because we just flat out enjoy it. Like we're willing to go spend the money and just compete because it's fun. Yep. But we've got to kind of dial it back and have some sort of balance, because at the end of the day, it is all for our business. Yes. It's a plus that we have so much fun doing it. Yep. But yeah, we're getting a little carried away by like, man, this is so fun. I want to compete. I want to, you know, you catch that high of you get a win and then you don't, and then you want to come back and try it again. Yeah. So we definitely have to find a better balance of not letting it become too much of a hobby.
And I think the other thing that we kind of, I don't want to say we need to remember, but like something that I need to think about is that we have been, like, one of the things that we've been doing as a company is we've been picking up other teams to use our seasonings and to represent our brand out there. We have to put our trust in those guys, right? Like, for example, like Reenie's going out to Briscoe this weekend. I mean, I fully trust Reenie. I think that Reenie can win it, right? We also have like Raul RG3. He's not competing this weekend, but I fully trust him and think he can win events when he goes out there. Mm-hmm. So we have to trust that these guys are going to represent us well, and they're going to get walks, and they're going to keep promoting our stuff for us and with us. That's why they're on the team. They're our family members, right? Like, that's what we call them. A lot of people say like ambassadors or like pro team and stuff like that, but we call them family members because we don't just pick whoever. We pick people that at least we've both met, talked to, and we do feel like they would do good for our business. So like, we've had Leonard and Zach with us for a long time. You know, I was actually looking at a post. We've had Leonard since February of 2022. So almost 2 years. Zach even longer than that. And, you know, now we have like Raul, Reenie, Brandon, Corey, just a lot of great cooks. We got to trust those guys. Mm-hmm. They're here to go compete as well, and hopefully do really well with our seasonings and tell everybody about them. So it's like, we're getting these teams to help us out. Let's trust them. Let's step back and do our thing. We like to make content, and we can make better content. And I think 2024, like I said, we're going to really, really, really focus up. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even look at it anymore. I really, truly don't. So I couldn't tell you, but I don't even know how many subscribers we have. Let me see, just out of curiosity. So we have 31,985. So let's just say 32,000, which is great, which is super great. I mean, realistically, 2024, my goal is 100,000. I go overboard for sure, but I truly, from the bottom of my heart and soul, think we can get there. Mm-hmm. I think if we're putting out good, consistent content, it will get there. We have to put out shorts. We have to focus up. I have to make sure I bring the energy every time. You know, I would love, another goal of mine is to get 3 new cameras. You know, I want to get at least 3 really nice cameras. Like, I want Sony A7 Mark IVs. Like, I mean, legit cameras. I want 3 of them. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but like, as long as we're on the same wavelength and we understand, like, we want to do something big, I think we can definitely do it for sure.
Yeah. And also, the thing about competing is if we're doing like 3 a month, you know, that's 3 videos, and we're trying to space out our content so that we have a recipe, then a competition, then a recipe, then a competition, right? So if we're doing way too many, we're just like filling up on clips and possible videos
for competition only.
Yeah, and so it works much better for us to do, you know, the 2 a month, because then that's our 2 for.
It could even be 1 if there's just not anything that we can get to.
Right.
But also, the thing is, for us to cater to only one side of it, it's just not smart for us. Mm-hmm. I understand there's a lot of people that really, truly enjoy our competition content. There's probably a lot of people that do. But we also just cannot forget that we had a following before we started competing. So I think people really enjoy the recipes. I mean, just based off of the views, people still really like watching the recipes. They like watching the competition videos too. I think we're a well-rounded channel, and we need to keep going with that. So, I mean, I want 100,000. I want 3 new cameras. I mean, to me, the sky's the limit. It's on us. We want to start doing more email marketing, which is going to fall on me. We want to start doing recipes every week, at least. Well,
like on our website.
Yeah, again. On our website again. Yeah. Maybe every other week. Maybe every week is not really, you know, doable, but every other week. Obviously, not miss any podcast episodes. But, like, I don't feel bad about the past 2 that we missed. Unfortunately, we just had stuff that was more important than the podcast at that time. You know, we were with family for a couple of days, and it was really nice. I mean, Thanksgiving was awesome, and then I had to go out of town with my friends. Like, I'm not going to miss Sid's bachelor party. So I don't feel bad about it, but our goal is obviously don't miss any weeks on videos, don't miss any weeks on podcasts, and compete 2 times a month. Maybe only 1 if there's only 1 event that we feel like we can go to. And the other thing is, we don't want to be driving so much. We were driving like 4 hours or something every weekend, it felt like.
Yeah.
And it was getting a little bit crazy to the point to where I was like just getting exhausted for.
Right.
But we're caught back up on sleep. We're reinvigorated, and we're ready for this next season. And we're ready for we're going to start now on the content and all that stuff, but we're ready for a big time 2024, and hopefully you guys are here with us for it. Hopefully you guys help us grow too. Tell a friend about us. If you enjoy the content, drop a comment, all that cool stuff. So we do appreciate you guys always being here for us.
Yeah, for sure.
So now we talk about moving forward to 2024 just a little bit. We talk about the fact that we're going to be in Angleton, our goals, our plans. We have something else really big coming up that we've talked about on social media a little bit, but again, I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast.
No, we've only mentioned it because someone was asking, like, hey, are you still doing that in December?
Oh, yeah, Kenneth Steele asked.
Yeah.
So on December 16th, we're going to be having our 3rd Gulf Coast Smoke Invitational Contest. And these are always such a blast. I get nervous for them. The only reason I get nervous for them is because I want the video to be like so epic. It's insane. Let's just go out and have some fun. So this time around, we actually have some cold hard cash that's going to be out there. So these guys are coming to compete, and they can legitimately walk away with what? So if they GC 12. If they GC, that's 500, and then what is each category again?
It'd be 1,200 because, or no, a little less than that, because what RGC gets 325.
Yeah, so it's just like a little less than 1,200. Yeah. If you clean sweep it, if you get first GC, you can get like $1,100.
Yeah, and
if you win beans, you can win a Weber griddle, a Weber 28-inch griddle. So Weber has been an amazing partner of ours. And we are so grateful that they support us the way they do.
Yeah.
And they donated a Weber 28-inch griddle for our contest for the winner for beans.
Yeah, for me in my head, I'm like, that seems even crazier than money to me.
For sure. The griddle is worth $500.
Yeah.
And they gave a cover too.
Oh, okay.
So there's a cover and the griddle. I don't know what the cover costs. I think the griddle is actually like $450, and the cover's got to be like $30-$50. So that's $500 value straight from Weber because they support what we're doing. They watched the last few videos. I sent them over to them, and they are just so supportive and amazing. Shout out to Annie. She's the one that I directly deal with whenever I'm talking about anything Weber with them. She's incredible, and we just so appreciate them. Not to be left out, B&B is donating charcoal to all the teams. They're donating charcoal starters. They're donating boxes of seasonings. They're donating char logs. They're donating pellets. And they're like, hey, just come pick up a pallet, give it away however you want.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And again, that's just, Shelby with B&B. Again, they're just super supportive of what we've been doing. We've been with B&B for over 3 years now, which is great. Well, no, I'm sorry. Over 2 years. I'm sorry. I misspoke. It's been over 2 years now. And it's crazy to me because we started doing content, like 3.5 years ago? Which is crazy to me. Now, in the beginning, we weren't posting like once a week or anything, and there was no real. But now, it's obviously become a lot more serious and all that stuff. And just to think about that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't even feel like that long.
Right.
But it's something that it's like our lives now. It's just what we do. It's just who we are. We talk about it all the time. This is going to be what we do. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And we're not going to give up. So anyway, shout out to B&B. Shout out to Weber. ThermoWorks sent out some stuff that I could give out. So I have 2 Thermopin ones. They're another great partner, so we appreciate them. We have Menger & Sons, American Wagyu. They're donating gift cards to the top 3 guys. We have my friend Darren from Access Containers and Storage. He donated cash towards the cash prize. Shout out to Darren. If anybody in the local area has any container needs. So we're talking about like shipping containers, right? Like he can customize them. He's made them look really good. Andrew actually has one of his containers at Full Send downtown, and I believe Andrew turned it into a restroom or storage or something. But he's got that going on.
Man, you can make some really. So there, I don't know if you remember the
place your parents stayed in Rockport.
Yeah, it's like not quite in Rockport, more Aransas, but they're these like 3 little mini houses, but they're out of shipping containers, and they're really cool, really nice. I mean, you could do all sorts of things.
Darren's done a lot of great things with these shipping containers. Again, if you guys are interested, reach out to Darren. They're on our Facebook. We shouted them out for donating that money and just allowing us to make it a better event. We also have Austin Refrigeration and Conditioning. They also donated some money towards the cash prize. So shout out to those guys. They're great people. Crockett Taxidermy. They also sent us some money to make it a little bit larger of a cash prize. Cody Tuttle, just out of his pocket, threw us some money for the cash prize. Cody is just such a great dude. He's always treated us very, very well. We are going to be getting all of the meats for the event from Tuttle's. So we're going to get chickens and ribs for the guys. And, man, we just have a lot of great people that are very, very, very supportive in our journey. And without them, we couldn't do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Well, we could, but we'd be spending a lot of money out of our own pocket. Now, we are putting money out of our own pocket into the prize pool. So we started with our own 500. And from there, you know, people just were like, oh, I want to be in on that. I want to be in on that. And it's just really cool that, you know, we don't have to go and like beg people to do it. They just want to be involved.
Right.
Because I think that they see like, hey, these guys got a little something going. Let's get in on that. And we're here for it. Oh, also my friend Jacob Issa, he's going to be donating his dumpster that that wheels around, and we're super appreciative of that. So he's going to be dropping that off. He's easydumpcc.com. So if you guys need, so it's literally like a dumpster that you see sometimes at these businesses.
Like you can pull it on a trailer.
Yeah, you can pull it on a trailer and just like take it wherever. It's a really cool business idea. Awesome. Yeah. So Jacob is donating that to us for the day. And again, just super duper awesome. Did I talk about us trying to do an on-site podcast? I did. I said that earlier, right?
I think you talked about it on like the last podcast, like the possibility of it.
Okay. So our goal at our contest is obviously to have a great contest. We want to make it fair. We want to have everybody duking it out, and hopefully it's a great event. So Zach has won the last two. Meat Locker Misfits has won the last two events. He's got the belt. And it's one of those things where every single event that we've done has gotten better and better. This one is even better. I know he wants to win again, and I know he doesn't want to miss out on any of these prizes. So he's got his work cut out for him. There's going to be some great cooks there, but he's a great cook too. So I'm excited to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I think it's real. Sorry. I think it's really cool that, you know, just from our very first one, I think right after that is when he started competing a lot more, you know, so it's just cool to see us grow, him grow, you know, and to see the caliber of teams that we're getting into these competitions. That's what we want. I mean, I know we're not a sanctioned event, but we want to make this something that every year people are excited
to come to.
Right.
And we've talked about it. We might want to try and we don't want to turn this into a sanctioned event, but we want to throw a sanctioned event. Right. But we also want to keep this going.
Yeah.
Non-sanctioned, completely different. Like we're having the guys cook baby back ribs, chicken, chef's choice, and beans. Beans is a jackpot, so it's not going to be a part of the overall for the other three meats. But we do want to consistently have something that's different.
Right.
Because realistically, if these guys wanted to, they could just go compete in an IBCA or a CBA.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we do want to throw a CBA event. We do. And that's another goal for 2024. But these are awesome and they're fun. And we get up close and personal with the guys. We meet them a little bit. We film them. Sometimes people are excited about being on the channels. Others, you know, might not care as much. But sometimes people are excited about being on the channel.
Yeah.
And so we have some really good cooks coming out this time. We have Caesar coming out. And he won first place rib in CBA for the whole year.
Yeah.
And he's coming out to our event, which is like, shout out Caesar, man. Like, dude's a great cook, and he's supporting us as well.
Yeah.
So Caesar's going to be there. Reenie's going to be there. Carl Davis, my boy Carl. So I literally put in the... So we told everybody, hey, pop-up tents only.
Yeah.
And in the rules, I put in parentheses, I said, unless you're Carl, because you have a badass trailer. Because his trailer is sick. It's got cast iron pants.
Yeah, it's not an enclosed trailer or anything like that.
To me, it's not unfair.
Right.
Because he's not enclosed. He's like out in the elements. He's got cover, but those guys are going to have cover with the canopy anyway.
Yeah.
And I want to get the trailer on camera. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope he does it the same way because he's got cast iron pots all over that thing.
Yeah.
It is crazy cool to see. And Carl Davis, current #1 chicken cook in CBA, my boy Carl.
We need to get some good advice from Carl on how to take care of cast iron pans.
I know. Yeah, our cast iron's always, and that's because I feel like we take pretty good care of them. We wash them, we dry them real good.
Well, there's so many different opinions on how to take care of it, so I'd be interested in getting his take on that.
For sure.
But yeah, his setup is really cool.
Yeah, so we wanted to see it. We wanted to be there.
Yeah.
So just to kind of double back now, we're going to try and do an on-site podcast there with those guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and get everybody at the event to come on the podcast. It's not going to be the same setup that you see here, obviously. We're going to be outdoors, and we're probably going to only be able to have one camera on it.
Yeah.
But we should hopefully be able to pull it off. If not, we'll obviously let you guys know, but we're hoping to get like Carl on, Caesar on, Rini on, Zach on, Brandon on, like a lot of those guys. Like Corey, I just got off the phone with Corey, Smoke Sergeant. He lives in Kansas City. This dude lives in Kansas City, and he just told me, he's like, dude, I'm coming down to your event. He's literally going to drive to his friends in Huntsville, then to Portland, hang out with us all day, drive back to Huntsville, then drive back to Kansas City. He's going to do like 26 hours from Friday to Sunday just to come hang out with us. Well, maybe. He hasn't for sure 100%ed on that yet. But if he comes, we're going to get him on the podcast. He's a part of our team. He's a family member. And that would just be epic to see him. I mean, I've already met everybody else in person that's on our team except for him. Mm-hmm. But we did talk a lot, and I got to know him pretty good. He's a great cook out of Kansas City, and I would just love to see him and meet him in person. So hopefully that happens. So if we could pull it off, you guys are going to have one podcast with up to 10 different people on it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think with that one, we kind of talked about it. You probably won't be on that one, huh?
Yeah, maybe not. We have a third mic and a third
but there's also still going to be the event going on.
Right. And so I got to make sure I'm out there filming and like checking on the camera angles.
And the good thing about it now is we got the DJI mic, so we'll have a mic on the people too. So it might be a little bit like, hey, throw the mic on. You can talk to them from the behind the camera too.
Right.
Just in case we have to get different types of footage.
Yeah.
But we're going to try and do all of this in one day. It's going to be hard, but we're up for the challenge, and I think we can do it. Because I'm not going to be able to sit down for a full hour and get everybody interviewing back to back to back to back. Not possible. We're going to try and grab people for 5-10 minutes at a time, sit down, and then, turn the cameras off, go do something else. You know what I mean? Swapping out SD cards. Like, it's going to be wild, but it's going to be fun. And I think, we're going to have some friends there, and we can ask them, and, hey, help us out with this, give us the right SD card, whatever. Just, we'll figure something out for people to help us out a little bit. And I think people are going to be more than willing to help us out.
Yeah, because we had, 6, how many teams did we have last time? 8 teams last time.
Yep.
And it actually wasn't as bad as we thought running around to each one. So, and it was hot. So,
well, because at the same time, honestly, the part about it that kind of sucks is you just can't get everything of everybody. You just have to pick and choose. So someone's going to get more love on ribs. Another one's going to get more focus on beans. Someone else is going to get more love on Chef's Choice, and then chicken. You're not going to see a whole lot of one thing from everybody. You're going to see little bits and pieces. So we might focus on Zach's chicken, Rini's ribs, Caesar's beans, Carl's Chef's Choice, Brandon's Chef's Choice. We don't know. And that's the thing, right?
Because even if we got everything, that'd be a very long video.
And, I don't know. I mean, I think it could be, honestly, this one's going to at least be probably 30 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
30, 45 minutes. And we're okay with that, but we also don't want to, bore you guys. If it's a good 45 minutes, I'm down to post it. But if there's a lot of scrap in there that doesn't need to be there, we're not going to post that. We'll take our time. We'll do it right. Now, the challenge, this is going to be the challenge for you, not for me, is to get it out before the end of the year.
Oh, yeah. I don't think.
You'll have 15 days.
Yeah, it used to be that we felt like, man, these longer form videos are going to take us weeks. No.
Yeah.
I could
you're
spend
definitely gonna
3 to 4 days on it, maybe.
But the crappy part is, in the time that you're editing that video, you're gonna have to edit another one for one of the Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be tough.
When they're recipe style videos, those are pretty easy to turn around.
Yeah. So I think, I personally think for you to edit the long one, it's probably gonna take you all 5 days.
Yeah.
Good 5 days. So it's just gonna have to be focusing up. And I I still know how to edit. I've edited since you started editing. It's just our styles don't really mix. It's just and we've talked about it before. We've actually got into arguments about it, about us like splitting editing on one video. And I've thought about it a lot.
We've done it before on one of our competition ones.
Yeah, we did it before, but it's just like, even Luke the other day when we were in Vegas, he was telling me, he's like, dude, honestly, man, I thought you edited videos really good. Like, he was telling me that. And I'm like, I thought I did too. And he's like, but Sabrina edits them really good too. He's like, the difference is, the thing is, you guys are just different, right? Like, I had my way of editing, you have your way of editing, and they're both good. They're just different. So it's kind of hard to mix them sometimes.
Well, and I think also you're working with footage that you're given, and I'm working with footage that I took.
Yep.
So I already have this idea in my head
of what you want.
Right, of what I want to include, how I'm going to do it.
But you could still do the other thing easy.
Well, yeah, but it's just you have to like
watch the whole clip and see everything. Yeah,
so
and
sometimes
that's what I would do. I don't know if you remember, like I would watch. So that's the thing that made it hard. And also the difference is like we would film a video, let's just say like on a Monday. I would stay up until I finished it that Monday night. Like it could be 2, 3, 4 a.m. I would stay up until I finished it, upload it, go to bed. And then like you, which I think that's why yours are better, you take your time. You don't want to finish it in a day. It could take you 2, 3 days. I've never seen a video take more than 3 days for you, even a really long one.
Well, and that's because it doesn't actually take that long. It's just I'm stopping to like help a kid with something, do this, do that. Yeah.
So,
but typically, it takes around that long just to actually complete it.
Yeah. But the point is, we're hoping for a really good video. We're going to do everything we can to make sure we knock it out of the park. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy that one. And I think you will. The fact that we have cold hard cash up for grabs, a Weber griddle up for grabs, and we got free stuff up for grabs. These guys hopefully are really hyped about this. Coolest thing about this event is the entry fee is $50 worth of unwrapped toys. What we're going to be doing once we get these toys is we're going to take them to the Gregory Police Department. What the Gregory Police Department is doing is they have chosen families from Gregory Elementary, Stephen F. Austin, that unfortunately their families are not able to afford Christmas for the kids. And they're sponsoring different families. So our toys are going to help sponsor the kids out of Stephen F. Austin and Gregory, Texas. We live in Portland, Texas. Literally, you drive 45 seconds and you're in Gregory.
Right.
So it's a community that's right next to us. It's a community that I've lived next to my entire life, and we're going to be able to help them through our event. And that is the best feeling of them all, is that all of this is cool. We're giving away this, we're giving away that. Man, we're giving away toys to kids that unfortunately they cannot have a great Christmas. And that's one of the things, like you and I have been talking about it a lot. You know, in the past, we just go and spend thousands of dollars on Christmas for toys for our kids, get them whatever they want. They circle a magazine, right? And they're kids. They're not doing anything wrong. They just don't really understand sometimes. What we've done this year, and I'm excited about it, we've taken a major step back and we've said, hey, look, what do these kids truly love? Truly. We know our kids. We know what each of them love. Penelope loves to dance. Piper loves to draw. Alonso, this dude loves to play. This dude loves to play video games. Dude, the other day I asked my son, I said, son, what sports do you want to play? And he said, Dad, I don't want to play any sports. I want to play video games all day. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude. He goes, Dad, I want to play Super Mario 3D World. That's the way he talks. That's the way he talks. He goes, Dad, I want to play Super Mario 3D World. I'm like, okay, son, whatever you say, dude.
And isn't it so funny, though, to hear him say that, and you kind of, it's like, as a parent, you kind of roll your eyes like, what the heck, you don't want to do anything? But then you think about, like, the opportunities you had with gaming, and it, like...
Yeah, and that's, man, you know, you bring that up, that's still something that we should talk about one day.
Yeah.
You know, and it is crazy the opportunities I got from gaming. I was able to make money playing video games.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Red Bull, like all sorts of crazy stuff. And Yeah, it's wild. But, you know, as long he says he wants to play video games all day, I'll be the first one to tell you, my son loves going outside to play.
Yeah.
He's like never on his tablet. We did buy him a tablet. He's rarely on it.
He's on it the least out of everybody.
Yeah, the least out of everybody. He loves to go out and play. When we're at competitions, he's out running around everywhere, playing, doing whatever. But he just likes to play video games. He likes to play Mario.
Yeah.
And he gets really into Mario. Like, if you go to my history on YouTube, it's just like Mario stuff. All we do is watch Mario because I'm signed in on our TV. And yeah, we watch a lot of Mario stuff. So we took a step back and we decided that we're going to try and get our kids something that's a lot more sentimental. It doesn't matter if it's the same amount of money or less amount of money. That's not what we're doing. We're just trying to give them something that, hey, like, you're going to be using all year or for a while. So I think that realizing that there's kids and families that live 3 minutes that way, they can't even give their kids Christmas. I mean, man, if that doesn't pull your heartstrings, there might be something wrong with you, man. And I think it's really cool that we can do something about that.
Yeah, I think we should maybe figure out, like, bring a big bin and see if people drive by, let them know, hey, if you want to come donate a toy, come drop it off here. For sure.
I definitely thought about that. I just didn't want the event to get out of hand because it could. It really could. For sure.
Yeah. And it's a small space for a competition, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, it can get overcrowded for sure. The street we're on can get pretty overcrowded. But it would be good to possibly get some more donations for those kids.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. I see so many positives from us getting those toys for these kids, and I'm just excited to take them and deliver them because this is not about me and this is not about you. This is everybody that's coming that's in this with us. That's why I tell you, we call our team family members because they're coming out and they're doing something that's helping us make a difference. This is not about barbecue. I've said it a million times. I love to barbecue. We're going to keep barbecuing. We're going to keep competing. We're going to keep making cooking videos. But we've already told ourselves and we've promised ourselves this. If we make it, we're going to do something good. And we're always going to hold ourselves to a really, really, really high standard. And we're not going to take anything that we're given for granted. So that being said, we almost talked for an hour already. I do want to go into one thing that I wanted to talk about was what was your best and your worst Christmas presents of all time? So anybody out there, if you guys have one, drop it in the comments below right now. And I'm going to tell you that straight up, I have never in my life had a bad Christmas. And I thank God for that every single day. I thank God for a lot of different things, but I think like I don't literally say, hey, thank you, God, for having, great Christmas every year. Just thankful for everything that I've been given. For my father, for my mother. They gave us the best Christmases always. Mom and Dad are just the best. My best Christmas ever. I'll never, ever, ever forget it. I was 10 years old and I was in the 5th grade. I was just about to turn 11 in February, and Heelys was the big thing. I wanted Heelys so bad. Of course, Mom and Dad, nope, you're not getting them. You're not getting them. You're not getting them. You're not getting them. I wanted a scooter, an electric scooter with like a brushless motor. So Sid actually had a dope scooter, but his was gas. And we would play on it. We would mess around with it. I wanted a scooter because Sid had a scooter. And then, of course, that was right when I was still major into Pokemon. Major. So I wanted Pokemon cards. Those were the 3 things I asked for. Pokemon cards, a scooter, and Heelys. I literally got Heelys, a scooter, and Pokemon cards. And I'm not exaggerating. The box that my parents put the Pokemon cards in, well, I was little, so maybe it wasn't that high. Dude, it felt like it was 4 feet high. It was literally filled with Pokemon cards. Like, I'm talking like I dumped it over and they just like fell over on me. I was like, oh my gosh, let's go. Let's go. And they did mix in some like Pokemon toys and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the best Christmas ever. Now, I will say every other Christmas was like, so like, let's just say this was the best Christmas ever. Every other one was like touching it because my parents just, dude, I'm a 33-year-old man with children and a wife and my own home, my own vehicles. We pay our own whatever. I promise you, I could go tell my parents tomorrow, hey, Mom and Dad, I want an Xbox for Christmas. And they would literally get it. Because that's just, they treat us all so, so well. And that's exactly why we wanted to remember like those things for us. And we want to do the same thing for our kids. Like give them something that's super sentimental. Like, you know, Pokemon look at our room.
Yeah.
Right. Like it impacted my life. I remember going to the store with my mom on Fridays to Hallmark and getting 2 packs. I remember it. Like I remember the smell of the cards. I promise these things impacted our lives. These things made us who we are. Dancing's going to make Penny who she is. Drawing for Piper, maybe gaming for Alonso, but I'm going to force him to golf. So it is what it is. But anyway, I love to get off topic.
I think that's such the cool part of being a child around Christmas time is everything seems huge. I remember when we would have Christmas at my Nana and Pappy's and being upstairs and feeling like the tree was like 30 feet tall. Dude. I remember my parents like waking up on Christmas Day and seeing, I'm like, where the heck did all these freaking presents come from? Everybody, and I love this tradition still to this day. Everybody got their own wrapping paper, so you knew
whose was what.
Right. And just it's definitely just seems so magical.
Yeah.
And I think that's, Christmas isn't about toys, but that's the best part of it is just like that magical feeling. Like it doesn't even matter what the heck is wrapped in that.
Oh, yeah. And the thing that I love about my mom is still to this day, 2 pop from Santa.
Yeah.
It's like, really, Mom? This is for sure your handwriting, Mom. I don't know how I didn't catch that earlier in life, but man, I mean, the Christmas traditions have been incredible within our families. Yeah. And shout out to your mom and dad, actually.
Yeah.
Shout out to your sister, your brother. I was talking to your parents the other day, actually. I texted them.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, hey, just so you guys know, we're gonna come see you guys a couple times next year, I promise, because we haven't done that enough. So shout out to Jason and Judy. We love you.
Yeah, even my mom's handwriting is so unique. I knew the way she wrote Santa. Like, we knew it was her, but just those are the things you remember. They make those core memories or whatever.
Okay, so go. Do you remember your best Christmas?
Oh, so there's 2.
Okay.
The first one, I think I was 16. But, I grew up loving to cook, and then I got really into baking, and my parents bought me a yellow KitchenAid stand mixer, and that's the one
have?
We still have to this day. So that's over 20 years old. 31 minus 16, 15?
15 years old.
That thing is 15 years old, and it's still going. And
still works. We probably need to get a new one soon, but
yeah. And then the second is our daughter.
Yeah. No,
she was born on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So we took her home Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be the greatest gift of all.
For sure. Yeah, no, I commented on our post with my personal page, and I actually was writing out Penelope, but just because everybody else probably didn't have that exact same thing, I was like, I'll leave it off. But yeah, absolutely. Penelope made us parents, and I mean, it was crazy. It was a crazy day. I remember I was watching the Spurs. I was watching the Spurs on the TV, and I was like, can we please go home? I want to watch the Spurs on the bigger TV with my daughter. And Christmas Eve is always... Christmas Eve is unfortunately not really Christmas Eve for us anymore. It's Penelope's birthday. And it's got to stay like that because we got to show her that she's super important, and it's about her that day. So I did have a few people respond, and I thought that a couple of them were pretty funny. So Joe Vada put fruitcake, worst present. And I'm like, I know that I've seen that in like movies and stuff, but I didn't think people actually really gave fruitcake away. So yeah, that's pretty bad, right?
Oh man, that'd be the type of gift I would give away. Would be like food or I've never made a fruit cake, but like a cake or cookies. But.
Yeah. So I actually put my worst was a gift card to a store in another state, and that's happened a few times. Like I've gotten gift cards and it's like, how can I use this?
They don't apply here.
Like I appreciate it, but I can't use this.
Right.
And I was just trying to like start the conversation, but that was my worst, even though honestly nothing's ever been bad at all. So Sam Alexander Arias put, when I was in high school, I totaled my sister's car on Christmas Eve. She was mad, capital M-A-D, mad. To make matters worse, this is actually hilarious. To make matters worse, I bought her a Garmin GPS with a mount specifically made for her car. Christmas morning was ... emotional ? Question mark.
Man.
Dude, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. So that is beyond hilarious if I'm being real. Like that.
Wow.
I don't even know.
The irony. Yeah.
Yeah, the irony of getting your sister that gift and then you totaled her car. I have to agree with you. That's probably a pretty bad Christmas. Maybe not a bad Christmas, but that's an unfortunate.
It's a funny memory now.
Yeah,
at least for the rest of us.
Unless this happened last year, then maybe not that. Yeah. Well, no, he said when I was in high school. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah. And then also, Joe puts, my best present was a brown bag filled with pecans, oranges, candy, and socks for my grandma. I can't say I've had a bad gift, honestly. And I remember those gifts. I remember those types of gifts where you get a brown bag and it did have like the pecans in it and it had the oranges or the apples or whatever. And I remember that. And if I had to make an assumption, he probably loved that gift because it was from his grandma. So I'm glad that was his best gift ever for sure. And then Raul Villanueva puts, the best. Every year my grandmother has been sending me a letter in the mail for over 20 plus years. Not even related to her, but she does it out of the kindness of her heart. I'm 25 and still appreciate it to this day. Worst, can't say I've had one. I'm appreciative of all of them. And I think that's how we all feel. But that's awesome that your grandmother does that. I'm sorry, he put godmother. I misspelled. So godmother. And that's awesome. That's really, really nice. I used to, whenever I was younger, the Seiberts, they lived next door to my parents. And Ronnie and Pam used to always give me, and the Seiberts, they would always give me a gift card every single Christmas. And Ronnie and Pam would throw a 50 in there. I was like, let's go, baby. I was rich, baby. I was able to buy more Pokemon cards or a video game or whatever. So I do actually really, really remember and I cherish those moments. Not because of the money necessarily, but just because like Mr. and Mrs. Seibert, they meant so much to my family that it was just so appreciative. And then Ronnie, just so awesome. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I think that's the cool thing is, a lot of people don't send cards anymore. You know?
For sure.
So I like my Nana she'll always send a card.
Yeah, she always does. And she always sends us one. And it's really, it's one of those things where it's like, man, you don't even have to do this.
Yeah, because like nowadays you could have just texted me Merry Christmas, it means a lot that you spent the effort to send me a card
even though,
for Christmas.
I mean, even spending the $5 to go get a card, it's like, man, you went out, picked a card, wrote in it, told us you loved us, or told you she loved you, and then,
It's all of us, yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's just really, really cool to see that people still have that. And I'm excited for our Christmas this year, like with our family, because we're doing something a little bit different. Again, I think as we're getting older, we're starting to realize that Christmas, and don't get me wrong, we're still getting our kids toys and stuff, right? Like, it's not like we're only going to get them one little thing and they're not getting anything else. They're still getting toys. Let's be real. But we, even like my sisters and my in-laws and you and everything, we decided that we're going to just draw names. And the kids can have their little pool. The adults can have their little pool. And we're going to exchange gifts that way. And so I think it's going to be a really, really cool Christmas. It's going to be unique and maybe a tradition start.
Well, I think your parents have one of the best traditions that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that's when I entered into the family, I just thought it was the coolest thing. Because your mom, there were some years where it was just bags, right? Which now, or the past several years, they've been wrapping them. But I know there was a couple of years where it was just bagged, right? But you would have everybody's getting a blanket. Everybody's getting socks.
Yeah.
Gift cards. She'll get gift cards for everybody from everywhere. You know, your dad's, you know, he's staying up late. He's wrapping everything. But it's just like not random things, but it's like her and your dad are putting a lot of thought into the adults, because a lot of the adults, you know, we're trying to focus on our kids, and it's just random cool things that like everybody looks forward to every single year. Those gift cards, those socks, those blankets. I look forward to the blankets every single year. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know, like even last year, the Christmas before, they got all the men customized money clips with our initials on them from the King Ranch. And again, they take time and effort into getting us something really, really nice for Christmas. And it's super appreciated for sure. I mean, they get the kids great things too. So yeah, it's just a really, really, I love this time of year, and I'm really looking forward to spending time with, you know, my mom, my dad, my sisters, brother-in-law, and nephews, and everything. So we're really looking forward to that. And if you guys again have any great traditions or great gifts or anything, put them in the comments. We still love interacting with you guys, even though obviously the episode's coming to a close. We can always react to your comments and all that cool stuff. If you're listening for the first time and you're on YouTube and you're watching, consider subscribing to the channel. Like I told you guys, 100K is my goal for next year. And if you guys enjoy what we're doing, if you guys enjoy the content, you know, subscribing is completely free. And let somebody else know about us. You know, if you're out there and you do something in the barbecue community, reach out. We'd love to have some different guests on the channel. So we know who our guests will be for the next episode. But after that, you know, we're going to try and start lining up some really good guests in the barbecue world. And I told you guys this before, this is all things everything. So we want to try our best to branch out and talk about different things. And so hopefully we can do a little bit better on that next year. But I think we have a lot to talk about barbecue-wise for sure. So we'll just keep doing what we do.
Yeah, and, you know, shout out to all of the people out there who are missing loved ones during the holidays.
For sure.
And,
you're going to get emotional. Emotional. No, yeah, it's going to be, oh, man. So, you know, obviously recently we've lost somebody, and it's not easy during the holidays at all. But if you guys are missing somebody out there, man, we're praying for you. And we know what it feels like, unfortunately. And we pray for healing for you and your family. And, you know, hopefully you guys consider us like your barbecue family. If you need anything from us, man, always reach out. And this is the best part about this podcast is you guys get to see a different side to who we are. You guys see me talking about food. I get the comment that I sound like Patrick Mahomes or like Kermit or something. And, you know, but man, we're real people too. We go through stuff too. So anybody that's out there struggling with that and is missing a loved one for the first time on this Christmas, we're praying for you. Some people that we love with all of our hearts, they're going to be going through that this year. So we're praying hard for that healing feeling and just comfort for them for sure. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to end it. Like I said, we love you guys. Again, if you're watching for the first time, appreciate you. If you're listening, we appreciate you there as well. Share the podcast with somebody. And anything else?
Oh, we'll see you on number 15.
Number 15. Should we do like seasons?
Yeah.
Like season 1, season 2? What's a good episode to stop season 1 at? 20?
I don't know. Well, I would definitely not end the season like in the middle of December. I'd finish out December, and then obviously we're going to start season 2. Maybe we'll do it every year, every quarter or something. No,
I don't know.
Yeah, every year.
I don't know. Because every year would be 52.
52 weeks in a year, yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, I hate to say it. I'm sure we're going to miss 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll
definitely break this into seasons. For sure.
I guess we'll figure out how to break this into seasons.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be better even for people breaking down the episodes. Season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, or whatever. But anyway, thanks for watching or listening. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Later.